Hello everyone, this is DeckTrolls here, and today we're getting to one of my newer decks, the Mekk-Knight deck profile. So, we're going to make this somewhat short and sweet, but basically the deck revolves around making your opponent's effects become negated if that type of card is in the same column as a Mekk-Knight monster. Let's make this short and sweet. There are 3 Mekk-Knight Purple Nightfall, 3 Mekk-Knight Purple Blue Sky, 3 Mekk-Knight Indigo Eclipse, 3 Mekk-Knight Red Moon, 3 Mekk-Knight Green Horizon, 3 Mekk-Knight Yellow Star, and 3 Mekk-Knight Orange Sunset. I know practically no one runs 3 of each of the Mekk-Knights, but I like running those pure builds, so that's what I'm doing. It's pretty fun. I like it. It's nice. So all these Mekk-Knights have the same beginning effect, where if there are 2 or more cards in one column and you don't have a monster in that column, you can special summon your Mekk-Knight onto that monster zone. That's what all these main deck Mekk-Knight monsters effects are. So for purple, you can target and banish 1 Mekk-Knight on the field to add 1 Mekk-Knight from your deck to your hand. For blue, if it is normal or special summon, you can add a Mekk-Knight card equal to the add Mekk-Knight cards equal to the number of cards in that column that your opponent controls. So if they have an extra deck monster, a main monster zone, and a spell or trap in the same column, and you special summon it to that column, you can get up to 3 cards from your deck to your hand. It has to be Mekk-Knight monsters with different names though. Indigo has a quick effect. You can move 1 Mekk-Knight monster from any monster column that you have to any unoccupied monster zone. Red, you can banish from your graveyard one Mekk-Knight and target and destroy 1 monster in its column. Now, it's not a once per turn, so if you move it around during that same turn with effects that you are capable of in this deck, you can take its effect and use it multiple times that turn. For green, when an attack involving this monster with a monster in the same column, you can target a Mekk-Knight from your graveyard and add it to your hand. Yellow, you can banish a Mekk-Knight monster and destroy 1 spell or trap in the same column as itself. For orange, if an opponent's monster in the same column is destroyed or leaves the field, you can special summon a Mekk-Knight from your hand. That is it for our Mekk-Knight monsters in the main deck. And we've got a little bit of support. You've got 3 Watt-Kinetic Puppeteer and 2 DD Seeker. Watt-Kinetic Puppeteer can hand trap. It can move one of your opponent's monsters from one monster zone to another unoccupied monster zone. So that helps you to special summon more of your Mekk-Knights if you're able to get that 2 card same column thing going. And for DD Seeker, you can banish 1 monster you control until the end of the next standby phase, or end of the next turn, my bad. And that's good because you're going to use it for one of your effects that are necessary because you need a monster to be banished. Now, for our spells, we have 1 World Legacy Scars, 3 World Legacy keys, 3 World Legacy memory, and 1 Senate switch. Now, World Legacy scars can increase the attack and defense of all Mekk-Knight monsters by 300. You can discard 1 Mekk-Knight or World Legacy card to draw 1 card, and if there are 8 Mekk-Knights with different names in the graveyard, you can send your opponent's hand and extra deck to the graveyard. Now, this isn't going to happen oftenly, because you're not going to normally try to have that many Mekk-Knights in the grave, but since it is a possibility, it's a nice thing to have as an option, so you're going to have 1. World Legacy keys can target banished Mekk-Knights or World Legacy cards and add them to your hand. That's where the DD Seeker comes in handy, so you can banish your Mekk-Knights. Here's the fun part though. You can negate traps in the same column as a Mekk-Knight monster you control. You're gonna have boatloads of fun with that. World Legacy's memory. You can special summon from your hand or deck in defense 1 Mekk-Knight monster, and you cannot special summon monsters for the rest of the turn except Mekk-Knight monsters. So that's all you're going to be doing, so it doesn't really matter that much. And lastly, one of the older cards that somehow became useful later on in the future, Senate Switch. During your turn, you can move 1 monster you control to an adjacent monster zone that is unoccupied, so that you can do your special summons. For our traps, we've got 3 World Legacy's Secret and 3 World Legacy's Whisper. Yeah, Secret. Okay, so for Secret, you can target 1 level 5 or higher monster in your graveyard and special summon it. And you can negate monsters' effects that are in the same column as a Mekk-Knight monster. So there you go. You've got the negation of traps and the negation of monster effects. I think you know what's next. For World Legacy Whispers, you can target 1 level 5 or higher monster and it gains 1,000 attack and defense until the end of that turn. Also, negate the spell, negate spells that are in the same column as a Mekk-Knight monster that you control. So if you have all these 3 on the field and you have all 5 monster zones taken up, you're basically versus vanillas, and that's it. So lastly, for the extra deck, we have 3 Mekk-Knight of the Morning Star, 3 Mekk-Knight Spectrum Supreme, and 1 Hip Hashinigan. I have another Hip Hashinigan. I was going to put it in here, and I still mean to, but I have to find it first. But let's just say 1, but go with 2. Also, you can put whatever you want in here, but that's besides the point. So, Mekk-Knight of the Morning Star. You can discard a Mekk-Knight or World Legacy card to add 1 World Legacy card from your deck to your hand. So, you have a way to search out your spells and traps that can negate your opponent's effects. It also has this effect. Mekk-Knight monsters cannot be destroyed or take damage from monsters from a different monster in a different column. So if a monster is in a different column, it cannot do damage to your Mekk-Knight monster unless it's in the same column. And so Mekk-Knight Supreme Spectrum, it's 3,000 attack, and it can attack directly if there are no cards in the same column. So I like that because I love attacking directly. It's just fun stuff. If your monster points to no monsters, it cannot be targeted or destroyed by card effects. And lastly, you can send one card you control in its column to special summon a Mekk-Knight monster from your grave in defense. And Hit Shinigami can increases the attack and defense of all light monsters on the field by 500, and should it be destroyed, you can add a light monster from your grave to the hand. Correct, I believe. I think so. Anyway, that is my Mekk-Knight deck profile. Tell me what you think. Do you like it? What would you do to improve it? Just have fun. Please like and subscribe. Tell your friends, because all my decks are going to be budget friendly and they're just fun. Alright. Have a good one.